Long and Lindsey Thiry, who's been in Los Angeles all week long with both the Rams and the Chargers. Schefter, let me start with you. What was the decision-making process behind moving the game to Arizona?
The Rams and NFL and the Vikings and the NFLP were talking constantly throughout the week. And I think the Rams felt like this game initially could have been played Monday night in SoFi Stadium. But the league made the decision to shift the game to Arizona. And the Rams were very quick to adapt and express the idea that they were okay with that. They recognized with all these people losing homes, who cares about home field advantage? There are much bigger concerns in the world. It's a matter of public safety, and they agreed in the end to move the game to Arizona. The Cardinals sent their team flights. The Rams flew to Arizona last night, and today the Rams have set up shop at the Arizona Cardinals training facility where they will spend the next 3 days preparing for Monday night's wild card matchup against the Vikings. And there's the pictures, Green, right there. You see, they've taken over the Cardinals facility, and they've been comfortable in Arizona before. Up until this year, the Rams had won 9 straight games in Arizona. They'll be looking for more success there Monday night.
All right, so they've got a safe place to be and with their families. Now, Lindsey, you were with both teams at their practices this week and all the rest of that in Los Angeles. Take us through everything that the fans need to know.
Greeny, like Adam mentioned, the Rams are now in Arizona. How did they get there? Last night, their coaches, players, staff, families, about 335 people, I'm told, and that includes 6 dogs and 2 cats, boarded 2 777 planes sent by Arizona Cardinals owner Michael Bidwell. He got them to Phoenix, and this is all after what has been a very nerve-wracking and emotional week in LA. I was at the Rams team facility, like you mentioned, on Thursday when they began preparation for Monday night's game. During our news conference with Sean McVay, you could see plumes of smoke coming out of the Santa Monica Mountains, the Palisades fire just southwest of the team facility. Then to the north, as practice began, a new fire came up, the Kenneth Fire. That borders on the neighborhoods of Hidden Hills and Calabasas, where several of the Rams players and coaches live. I saw one player, and this was really a scene you can never forget. He ran out of practice across the parking lot in his cleats, jumped in his car and sped out of there. I know he has a wife, several small children, and that is something that was really just stays with you. And then moments later, several families, several wives started arriving to the facility as they evacuated from their homes. I'm told about 30 players, coaches, and staff in all had to evacuate. Some staff, I'm told, have lost property, but the best news, everybody is safe. As for the Chargers, their practice facility is further south in Los Angeles, but they too also have been affected because of the poor air quality, which literally had ash raining from the sky. They shortened their practices, and even some players chose to wear masks during those practices. Jim Harbaugh says his daughter was evacuated when a fire broke out in Hollywood, and Joey Bosa, he lives right near an evacuation zone, and he, like so many Angelinos this week, was trying to sleep with his phone on loud, afraid potentially of missing a notification to evacuate the area. Bosa, before departing, I should say, for Houston, Bosa saying he just hopes he has a home to return to.
All right, Lindsey, thank you so much. We'll come back to you as we continue again in Houston for the game today. And Schefter, the latest from you as we go. And let me bring it over here and listen. I mean, the impact of this horrific tragedy is so much greater than football. It almost feels strange asking football-related questions, but that's what our show is about. So, Rex, you're a coach. I mean, imagine yourself in the midst of this unimaginable disruption. How, if at all, does it impact the way the game is played on Monday?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, it is going to impact it. Of course, it's going to. The human side of things, you can't just assume that it's not going to. I will say this. A class act by the Bidwells for sure.
Yeah.
You know, sending the planes and all that. And I think the way the Rams have approached this, you know, bringing the families and everything else, because obviously you can't just go there and your family stand. They're bringing them all together. And we saw this early in the year, Tampa Bay, with a hurricane and things. And that kind of galvanized that team a little bit. We'll see if it doesn't do the same thing here. But obviously there's so much on these young guys' minds and things like that. But it's almost a chance to sit back and say, this is a chance to breathe a little and to play the game that we love and put it out there that way. That's the only way you can come back and do it.
I like that you said that. I mean, listen, sometimes we build up football. It's our profession. We live it, right? You get in the playoffs, it can mean so much. Obviously, something like this puts perspective, like in life. And I think for guys, football can almost become a welcome distraction, right? It can also become a release, and you can play with a weightlessness given the gravitude of the situation. Obviously, hopefully, there's been a ton of logistical, acrobatics by both teams to kind of move their facilities and practice. But hopefully they can kind of, play with some kind of joy and love today for the game, obviously, despite everything that's going on.
Yeah, this is a different adversity, really. This isn't an injury you're coming back from or anything. You're worried about your family and if they're with you. And you come closer to your organization at times to see how the organization acts in times of crisis, to where families, I heard 6 dogs and 2 cats are also on the plane, and you come close as an organization and as a team. And unfortunately, this isn't just another football game. This is a playoff football game. And it means a lot to a lot of these players. And a lot of them want a world championship and want to move on to the divisional round. And so how do you put that with, can it be a distraction? It's hard. I mean, I think some of the most mentally tough people on the planet are in football locker rooms, because there are various adverse situations you have to deal with in life, and how we've had to play through various situations. This is another one for them. But for it being a playoff game, this means a lot to a lot of these players. So how each head coach is able to galvanize their team and get them focused is so important.
In my 30 years covering the sport and all sports, I've always marveled at the ability of players and coaches to compartmentalize it. This, obviously, what is happening is so much bigger than football, but still be able to focus in as necessary. And sometimes I have heard from so many players, that is the place where you feel most comfortable. The place you feel most safe, comfortable, and normal is once you actually get between the lines and you are able to focus on it. One way or another, we will see. And we would invite you, if you would like to help people affected by this week's California fires, you can donate at redcross.org/ESPN to help the Red Cross respond.
Vì cả mỏ xía hết như vậy.
Về đây bên nhau ta nói lại chuyện xưa.
Tốt nha. Đó, mẹ. Bé lão. Cho cô xuống điện ăn. Ngon. Chả vì đâu nhưng ấy nè rồi đó. Cái gì ăn suốt. Nhưng mà có chị ở đây thôi.
Mọi người, mình đang kết màu tím nha. Các bạn ơi, vòng của mình đây, vòng của mình hoàn thành rồi. Video của mình đến đây là kết thúc nha. Nếu các bạn thích thì cho mình xin một like và chia sẻ và đăng ký kênh nha. Màu xanh đây nha. Giờ tiếp tục với màu tím.
Vì cả mỏ xía hết như vậy.
Con sỏi nha, con sỏi. ơi, đây là vòng của mình đây, vòng của mình hoàn thành rồi, video của mình đến đây là kết thúc nha. Anh Cầu có nhảy cái điện thoại nào của em không đấy?
Rồi. Rồi.
Ở đâu nhé? Tự nhiên
Một số bạn.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các bạn đã quay trở lại với kênh YouTube của mình. Video ngày hôm nay của mình sẽ là làm video gì đây? Nhiều quá, không biết làm video gì. Đây, rất nhiều những sản phẩm mình đã
sao giờ mình lại sao giờ lắm thế?
Lúc đấy là bảo là đang tâm sự với con mộ kia nên là chán. Chán không mình nhắn tin ngay nữa, xong rồi nó gãi kết bạn nhưng mà mãi đéo nghe, nó lại dỗi phát nữa, lại chán phát nữa.
Đầu tháng sau không thì là một giờ là lên gọi chạy cái dậy đi làm. Khổ quá. Rồi bà đi cho đi chụp ảnh thôi thì đã bình thường rồi, bình thường 50.000, 60.000 cũng được kể cả xong thì có thì nó cũng chả làm sao, mình việc rồi mình đi làm bình thường 3 triệu thôi đi được. Được. Tao bao hết cả quần áo cho mày. Quần áo thế nào phải lên đến 500.000.
500.000.
Bao hết cả quần áo cơ mà. Nó phải mua cái quần áo như thế đó. Từ một cái con xe cho nó ra là cách thêm.
Đơn giản đi ghê.
Chào tất cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình nhá. Ngày hôm nay mình sẽ tiếp tục hướng dẫn các bạn làm vòng tay nhá. Vòng tay hôm nay của mình sẽ có từ quả sơ ri. Bây giờ mình bắt đầu nha. Mọi người ơi, vòng tay hôm nay của mình sẽ có từ trái bần. Bây giờ mình bắt đầu nha. Các bạn ơi, vòng tay hôm nay của mình sẽ có tiêu đề là trái nhau. Bắt đầu nhá. Xin mời luôn.
Ngồi chán mở TikTok thì chắc anh kia không nói, nhưng mà mở TikTok thì lại có tiếng. Đấy, thế nên là xem cái game nào mà được việc ấn vào màn hình. Đấy, ngồi không chơi game nói chuyện thì vẫn được. Cái kia ngồi im re, mặt cứ ngáp liên tục ngáp.
Ngáp liên tục rồi. Anh này học lịch sử là anh cũng phải
Cô Thuận.
toàn một học đường tại mất tài liệu rồi. Không biết là lúc nào học cô rồi như vậy.
Thi á? Vẫn chưa thi á
Học
hay
quanh
là
năm bằng tài liệu.
học quanh năm bằng tài liệu? Tài liệu dạy mỗi lịch sử thôi á?
Người đó còn vàng của mình nhá. Vàng từ đây. Chúng đã quên rồi. Mỗi lần tôi thấy là cái gì nó mỗi một buổi học không mà người ta học dưới nhiều gì chẳng là sai được đi.
Gắt thế. Gắt thế. Lớp mạng.
Mà chưa nói là vì mày học kỹ nhá, học nhiều còn nhiều hơn nữa. Chẳng là sai cái là tiền thôi.
Mẹ cô kiểu gì cái thành tiền này.
Xin chào tất cả các bạn đã quay trở lại với kênh YouTube của mình. Video ngày hôm nay